The story did not start peacefully. No, it started like a Nollywood movie with generator smoke and sudden thunder. The day Aisha Coleman lost her mother, rain beat the earth like somebody owed the sky money. She was 15 years old enough to know death is wicked, young enough to still expect her mother to wake up and say, "Aisha, did you wash plate?" The compound in Gombe was filled with mourners, rice, tears, and plenty gossip. Women rolled on the dusty ground screaming, "Hey, Chaniki, God, why now?" Men shook their heads dramatically like football coaches that just lost a final match. Aisha stood still, no rolling, no shouting, just a sharp ache in her chest and one question in her eyes: who will braid my hair for school now? Her father, Mr. Roland Coleman, carried the pain quietly like a man swallowing hot garri without water. Teachers called him the gentleman with a lion's heart. Market women called him fine man with no stress. And kids in the street, they called him uncle that gives sweet when you greet him well. He loved his daughter with every bone in his body. Every morning he would stand behind her, struggling with her hair like it was an unsolved maths question. "Aisha, why is this hair refusing me simple instruction?" he would grumble. She would laugh. "Daddy, you're combing my brain, not my hair." At night, when grief tried to visit through the window, he would tell her, "My star girl, the world will hear your voice one day. You will wear black robe, stand in a courtroom and scatter injustice like Nipa scatters light." Aisha believed him. Even when sleep came with tears, she believed him. 2 years after the burial, Mr. Coleman remarried. Not for love, but because neighbours had started advising him like he posted his problem on WhatsApp status. "You can't raise a girl alone, Roland. She needs a woman. Man can go spoil without mama. A new wife will help." So he married Gloria Hart. Gloria arrived like a first lady in church Thanksgiving. Lace wrapper, soft voice, well-oiled smile. She hugged Aisha like WWE wrestler hugging opponent before chokeslam. "My daughter, don't worry," she said softly. "I will love you like my own." Aisha foolishly believed her. Mr. Coleman foolishly thanked God. The street foolishly clapped. For some time, peace didn't need invitation. It lived there. Their family business selling shoes, sandals, bags and leather belts boomed. The house smelled of stew, hope and new beginnings. But life is a comedian, and fate a professional prankster. At 19, just when Aisha was preparing for UTME, her father caught an illness that came like a thief and stayed like landlord. One night, too weak to stand, he called her. "Aisha, come." She held his hand that felt cold like unfinished tea. "You are going to school. You will become a lawyer. You will be great. Promise me." She nodded with tears sliding like pure water. "I promise, Daddy. I promise." 2 weeks later, the promise was the only thing she had left, because the man who gave her the dream had left the world without even saying bye twice. The burial was loud, long, sorrowful, and stressful. Even Goat cried, maybe because they knew someone might chop them after the ceremony. A month after the burial, something shiny entered the gloomy house. University of Lagos. Law. Congratulations! Aisha's scream danced, nearly broke the ceiling. She ran to Gloria, waving the letter like national cake on Independence Day. "Mummy, I got in!" Gloria looked at the paper like it was juju script. Then she laughed. Not sweet laugh. Laugh like generator that wants to explode. "Go to university? With my money? When there is shop to run? Are you okay? Did mosquito bite your brain?" Aisha blinked. "But Daddy told me." "Your daddy is buried," Gloria snapped. "We are talking about living people now." Aisha felt the universe shake. "What about his dream for me?" Gloria waved her hand like she was dismissing an annoying fly. "His dream can join him underground." Boom! Emotional slap. No hand needed. And just immediately, sympathy left the compound like fuel after salary. One by one, neighbours returned to their problems. Gloria removed the mask fully now. "Princess in this house don't end," she announced. "From today, you are staff." Not staff like receptionists, staff like multi-purpose unpaid labour. Morning, pound yam or no food. Afternoon, mop floor till reflection shows her future. Evening, sell shoes under sun hotter than village gossip. She no longer answered Aisha. She called her girl. Sometimes useless peeking, other times future disappointment. One day Aisha, exhausted, asked, "Mummy, why do you hate me like this?" Gloria turned slowly, eyes sharp. "Hate? I don't hate you, you're just unnecessary baggage, like shoelace that always opens when you're in a hurry." Aisha swallowed the pain. Because in Nigeria, sometimes your first enemy is not outside the house. Sometimes it is the person cooking your food. That night, while Aisha slept on the cold floor beside cartons of shoes in the store, she whispered to the dark, "Daddy, I will make you proud, even if the world fights me." And outside, somewhere in the distance, thunder roared like an answer. Because destiny was warming up and madness was about to begin. The very first morning Aisha Coleman carried the shoe tray on her head, the sun greeted her like a personal enemy, not like "good morning, sun." No, this one was "come and explain yourself," Aisha kind of heat. She wasn't even wearing slippers of her own, yet she was selling slippers for other people to wear and be happy. Life can be rude like that. Buy strong slippers! Lasting slippers, for your wife, your girlfriend, or your side chick if you like, she shouted, voice shaking like a microphone with bad network. Some people ignored her like an unread WhatsApp message. Others laughed. But one particular group of boys nearly gave her hypertension. They blocked her road, looked at her from head to toe, and burst out laughing like she told a joke nobody sent her. "See the future, San!" one shouted. "Barrister that is advertising slippers," another added. "Order in the court! All rise for Madam Hawker," the tallest one screamed. They laughed so hard a small baby on a nearby woman's back started laughing too, even though the baby didn't know what was happening. Aisha wanted the ground to swallow her whole, maybe give her soft landing at least. She dragged herself home that evening with dusty feet, bruised pride, and stomach singing national anthem out of hunger. She met Gloria Hart, her stepmother, chief counsel for wickedness, seated majestically like an evil democracy. "Mummy," Aisha began softly, "please allow me go to school. Daddy saved enough. I can sell shoes and still study, I promise." Bam! Gloria slammed the dining table as if she was calling spirits for emergency meeting. School care. So book is what you want to use and cook soup for me. Law degree will pay NEPA bill? Fool! Isha swallowed hard. Then Gloria leaned forward, smiling the devil's personal smile. "Your father was so correct. Why him day 6 feet inside ground now? If him love you like biscuit, why him leave you with me? Answer me." Aisha folded, like cheap umbrella. That night she cried quietly, hugging her university admission letter like it was a person. "Daddy," she whispered into the darkness, "this was your dream, not even mine, yours. Why did you hand me over to Lucifer's personal assistant?" Silence answered her back. A few months later, when everyone thought she was sleeping, Aisha heard a conversation that made her blood freeze like expired ice cream. Gloria was speaking to a neighbour outside. "There is one new crippled man at the junction, basket weaver, leg like bent ruler. But him dey find wife," Gloria said with excitement, like she found a discount on bleach. "You know serious?" the neighbour asked. "I serious past jam result. I will give him Aisha. Let suffering marry her properly. At least she will leave my house and stop breathing here for free." Aisha pressed herself to the wall like paint, shaking. So her stepmother's mission in life was not just to stop her from school. It was to ruin her future with permanent evidence. Sleep did not meet her that night, only fear, tears, and unanswered prayers. 2 nights later, Gloria entered her room with a smile too bright to be innocent. "Tomorrow is your wedding. I found a good man for you. You will like him when you see him, I promise. Smile small, my dear. Marriage is blessing, abai," she said, bursting into laughter. Aisha's knees almost filed for resignation, but she didn't say anything. She had begged, cried, and even did hunger strike, but never worked, never changed her. Morning arrived. The sun was shining irresponsibly bright. Birds were singing happy songs. Even goats were chewing grass with excitement. But inside Aisha, weather was different, heavy, cloudy, spiritually offline. She stood before the cracked mirror in the tiny room her father once built for her. She was wearing her late mother's gown, old, tired, yellow at the edges like unfinished pap from yesterday, tears decorating the cloth like beads. She remembered her father's voice. "You will stand in a courtroom someday and speak for the weak." Today, she was standing in a corner room, preparing to marry a man whose leg needed directions to walk. Her heart yelled, "Run!" Her body replied, "To where? With what strength?" "I beg rest." Gloria entered again like trailer without break. "You better look grateful, my darling. Many girls are doing fasting and prayer for husband. Yours came free, even with disability bonus. Clap for Jesus." Aisha said nothing, because if she had opened her mouth, curses would have flown out like African parrots. She felt small, broken, used, forgotten. By 9 a.m., the Coleman compound wasn't full of guests. Oh no, it was full of spectators. Not the God bless your union crowd, more like the Let's Come and See Disgrace Live and Direct Association. Women formed clusters, whispering like gossip was an Olympic sport. Children ran around chanting, "Aisha carry cripple! Aisha the hawker wife! Aisha shoe seller wife!" One mischievous boy added his own remix. "Husband wheelbarrow, wife market barrow." Even goats seemed to be laughing, chewing grass with extra sarcasm. Some men shook their heads in pity. Others folded hands like this movie is giving premium content. Gloria sat proudly in the middle like a judge who already knows the verdict. Her lace was loud, her gel was taller than justice, and her smile... Oh, that one could poison pure water. At Grace Mercy Parish, Gombe, the setup was giving. No decoration, no music, no bridal train, just judgment and cold breeze. The priest, Father Kenneth, adjusted his glasses and sighed like a man who knew love was not invited here today. Then Cairo Hudson entered. Not walked, rolled in. The wheelchair made small crrr sounds as if even it was tired. His shirt looked like it borrowed its last strength to appear decent. His locks hung freely, giving mysterious fine boy who has story to tell. Despite everything, his face was calm, steady, unshaken. Aisha walked beside him, slim, 22 now, but with old pain sitting on her shoulders like unpaid debt. Her face was pale, but her steps firm. Not because she was bold, but because embarrassment had already finished her. Nothing left to fear again. "Do you, Cairo Hudson, take Aisha Coleman as your wife?" Father Kenneth asked. Cairo answered clearly, "I do." Murmuring entered the church like generator smoke. Then the priest turned to Aisha. "And you, Aisha Coleman, do you take Cairo Hudson?" Before he even finished, somebody at the back shouted, "The cripple version?" Laughter exploded like knacking firework. Aisha closed her eyes, took one breath, whispered, "I do." The crowd reacted like she said the most unreasonable thing since Gary mixed with hot water. Gloria leaned to a neighbour and hissed proudly, "Today school dream go die finally, let suffering sign attendance for her life." No piano, no choir. Only goat bleating somewhere, adding backup vocals to the humiliation. When they stepped out, Gombe town had assembled. People brought out phones, not to snap love, but to record and capture the disgrace. Madam Gloria friends began singing again, "Lawyer! Lawyer! Lawyer turn wheelchair conductor!" Aisha stared straight ahead. No tears, no response. Because sometimes dignity is silence. Cairo rolled closer to her and murmured quietly, "A real lion does not respond to barking animals." Aisha didn't smile, but somewhere inside her chest, a tiny spark shook awake. Just as they reached the road, a loud horn blasted, "Honk!" Everybody scattered like sachet water drops. A long, shiny black SUV crawled in like a celebrity that knows it's a celebrity. Then another, then another. 3 cars, convoy style, the kind that doesn't park anywhere. Everywhere parks for it. A clean-shaven driver hopped out, wearing gloves like he touches air for a living. He bowed slightly. "Sir, everything ready?" Gombe froze. Phones paused mid-recording. Mouths opened like fish market at feeding time. Even the priest adjusted glasses again because this one passed mouth explanation. Aisha whispered, "Sir? Cairo? What is happening?" Cairo only gave a calm half-smile. "Shall we go home, my wife?" The driver gently lifted him from the wheelchair into the car like carrying royalty. Then he turned to Aisha. "Madam, please," with respect that could pay her school fees twice. Gasps scattered everywhere. Gloria staggered, her jelly almost deflated. Inside the car, the air smelled richer than destiny. Aisha sat stiff, afraid to touch anything in case it was worth more than her existence. "Cairo, who are you?" she whispered again. He tapped his knee calmly. "Just a man who got tired of fake love." The car left dusty Gombe roads and entered a part of town that people only discuss like rumours. Tall gates, quiet streets, big houses saying don't even think of renting here. When the convoy stopped, Aisha forgot how to breathe. Before them stood a mansion that looked like money married peace and gave to architecture. Fountains danced like they were also paid staff. Security stood alert like life insurance policy. Maids lined up like exam invigilators. Aisha turned slowly to Cairo. This cannot be yours," she whispered. Cairo's voice dropped softly but landed like thunder. "Aisha, welcome to your home. No drama, no shouting, just effect." Her legs shook, her heart hit full reset. Her life officially left the group chat of suffering. Back at the church gate, Gloria was still standing there. This time, quiet. Her proud smile had expired. The same neighbours that mocked Aisha minutes ago were now shouting, "Gloria, you're Pekin Don Hamaroo." Another added, "Nah, you carry Diamond give your stepdaughter." They all burst into laughter, while another said, "Madam Gloria, congratulations, but sorry for your career loss as wicked stepmother." Gloria didn't reply, because for the first time in years, fear was speaking louder than pride. The sun hadn't even reached its high noon when Aisha Coleman finally understood that life can be the cruelest comedian until it becomes your stage. She looked at Cairo Hudson, her husband, not the beggar the world had laughed at, but a man who carried power, dignity, and an empire behind a calm smile. "The world knows me as Michael Gray," he said, voice smooth like silk but firm like marble. Founder of Gray Logistics, owner of estates across Gombe State, partner in multiple companies, a man many respect, few truly know. He paused, eyes resting on her. "But I chose to walk the streets in disguise, to see the truth, to find a heart that sees me, not my wealth." Aisha's chest heaved violently. She shook her head, speechless. You're a billionaire?" Michael's smile deepened, a mixture of mischief and triumph. "So they say," he replied, and just like that, every humiliation she endured at their wedding replayed in her mind. The neighbours' jeers, the children's mocking songs, her stepmother Gloria's triumphant laughter, all of it a cruel symphony of shame. But now, standing in the heart of his mansion, Aisha felt the tide shift. Maids approached, perfectly groomed and poised. One, a tall woman in Ankara, bowed elegantly. "Welcome, madam. Lunch has been prepared." Another carried a silk wrapper. "Would you like to change, madam?" "Madam?" The word echoed in her mind like a melody she had long forgotten. She had gone from dusty streets and blistered feet to being called madam in a palace. Overwhelmed, Aisha stumbled, words failing her. I don't understand. Why pretend? Why live like a beggar?" Michael wheeled closer, calm as ever. "Because wealth blinds people. Many will love what you have, not who you are. When I had my accident, lost the use of my legs, many who claimed to care abandoned me. Even the woman I once loved ran away. I wanted a wife who could see me. See the man, not the money." He reached for her hand. "The day you gave me a coin at the junction, Aisha, not for gain, not for favour, just because your heart was pure. That day I knew you were the one. Then the day I was under the rainfall and you rushed towards me with rain jacket and a wrapper, I decided to give it all it takes to marry you. I did my findings about your family and I was told I am not the only one you are nice to. I was told you are nice and good to every other helpless people too. When I told your stepmother that I needed a wife, she laughed so loudly and said, I have a stepdaughter that needed a crop destiny, and she immediately assured me to come for the wedding. It was as if she wanted out of her life immediately. What she never knew was that I deliberately choose you, even though you yourself wasn't aware of it. Tears welled in Aisha's eyes, covering her mouth to stifle her sobs. I thought I was marrying a crippled beggar. I thought my life was over. Now she looked around, sparkling chandeliers, polished floors, servants awaiting her command, and the man she had barely known but already respected. Michael squeezed her hand. Not just madam, my love, queen of this house, partner in my empire, and the wife I prayed for. Her tears spilled freely, shock, relief, and hope all dancing together. For the first time since her father's death, Aisha felt destiny pulse in her veins again. 2 months later, that evening, Aisha stood on the mansion balcony, city lights like scattered fireflies below. Michael wheeled beside her. I want to go back, she whispered. I want Gloria to see me, not as the girl she crushed, but as what God made me. Michael studied her face, a small knowing smile on his lips. Then we go, not with anger, but with dignity. The next morning, Gombe town woke to chaos. A piercing siren cut through the market chatter. Heads turned, children dropped their baskets and ran barefoot to the roadside. Women shielded their eyes from the glaring sun, mouths open in disbelief. A sleek convoy of black SUVs rolled down the dusty streets, flanked by uniformed guards. The cars gleamed as if coated in liquid gold. At the centre in the second SUV sat Aisha, resplendent in a flowing gown of coral and ivory lace. Her neck sparkled with beads catching the sunlight like fire. Beside her, Michael, no longer the tattered man everyone mocked, now sat like royalty in tailored kaftan. The convoy stopped at the gate of Gloria's compound, the very same where Aisha had once returned with blistered feet, tears and broken pride. Neighbours gasped, phones shook in hands, some faintly whispered, "Na Aisha na, the same girl?" Madame Gloria staggered out, wrapper loose, scarf slipping. Her eyes bulged. Her mouth tried to form words, but none came. The driver opened the SUV door, bowing like a royal attendant, and Michael in his golden wheelchair was helped out while Aisha stepped out. Radiant, commanding, untouchable. For a long moment, Gloria was dumbstruck. She forced a trembling smile. "My children, my daughter, God has blessed us," she croaked. Neighbours burst into quiet laughter. Memories of mocking Aisha's misery came back like bad fashion trends. Gloria's pride was crumbling before their eyes. Aisha stepped forward, head high, voice steady. "Good afternoon, madam." Gloria's knees buckled. She rushed forward, grabbing Aisha's hands, voice breaking. "Aisha, forgive me. I did not know. If I had known. He was a great man." Michael's voice cut through calmly but sharply. "You wouldn't have allowed me to marry her because you never wanted any good thing for her." Gloria froze, shame flooding her face. Aisha's voice, calm but icy, rang clear. "You hated me because my father loved me. You stole from him, mocked me, tried to bury me in misery. But what you meant for evil, God turned to good." The crowd murmured. Some clapped. Gloria collapsed to her knees, weeping. "Please, Aisha, take me into your house. Take my daughter. I will do anything." Aisha looked down, unreadable, then bent slowly and helped Gloria to her feet. "I do not need a maid. I do not need revenge. What I needed was freedom. And I have found it. Keep your daughter. Keep your excuses. My husband gave me what you tried to steal. Peace, dignity, and love." Michael squeezed her hand gently. "Come, my queen. Our kingdom awaits." As the convoy pulled away, Gloria fell back onto the ground, her cries echoing through the compound. For the first time since her father's death, Aisha Coleman felt free. 3 weeks later, Aisha Coleman was slowly transforming from the frightened orphan who once hawked slippers in Gombe heat that could fry egg on zinc, to a woman who now had her name stitched into silk towels. She had enrolled at the university to study law, exactly like her father, Mr. Roland Coleman, had dreamed before death rudely interrupted the plan. But life was finally giving her pocket money and peace of mind. That night, Michael Gray sat in his study. The room smelled like money, wisdom, and imported man perfume that had no business smelling that good. Aisha sat beside him, flipping through documents like she was born to do so. Michael turned his wheelchair slightly toward her. "Aisha, there's something I haven't told you." She blinked. "If it's another secret billionaire identity, just tell me now. I don't have strength again." He gave a small smirk. "Not that kind. A dangerous one." The smile dropped. "Before my accident," he began, "I made enemies, business people who wanted to see me fail. After I lost the use of my legs, I thought they would leave me alone. But recently, I feel eyes watching me again." Aisha sat up. "Eyes? Like village parrot or human being eye?" He didn't laugh. "Someone inside this house is leaking information. Security found footprints by the back fence last night. Whoever it was knew the layout well." She inhaled sharply. "Inside this house? Chiniki." Before another word, lights flickered and died. Darkness swallowed the mansion like Nipa flexing muscle. A cricket outside was the only thing minding its business. Then, click, a door eased open somewhere. Aisha shot to Michael's side. Michael, somebody is here!" Michael reached calmly for a hidden button on his wheelchair. Emergency hall lights activated, dim but reliable. Security boots thundered through the corridors like war drums. Shouts, scuffling, a struggle. Seconds later, 2 guards dragged someone into the room. Aisha gasped, "Chidi!" Chidi was one of the drivers, always smiling like his problems were on break. Now he looked like a student caught cheating during jam. "Search him." They pulled out a small knife, a torn scrap of paper, a phone buzzing non-stop like a side chick during honeymoon. Michael checked the phone. Messages, bank credit alerts, mansion floor plan. Meeting time, 2 a.m. tonight. Then came the line. Gate must open. Job pays 15 meet. Michael's jaw hardened. Chidi collapsed on his knees. "Oga beg, dem say make I only open small gate. Say dem just one scare you knee. I no, say you reach this level." Aisha's chest tightened. 15 million to betray this house? Chidi pointed shakily. "Na Miss Cassandra send me. Your ex-fiancés. Dem say na Michael Gray Empire be target. Dem one dust and finish." Silence sat heavily. Cassandra, the woman who once told Michael, "I'll love you forever," but disappeared faster than customer when POS network fails. The moment the wheelchair truth landed, Michael didn't shout. His calm was scarier. "Hand him to the police. No beating. Let justice do its job." Chidi cried like generator in rain. When they were alone, Aisha knelt beside Michael and placed her palms on his. "They thought they'd buried you. They didn't know they were planting you. And now I'm the fertilizer they didn't budget for." He looked at her, stunned. "You're not just my wife," he said softly. "You are becoming my backbone. You," she replied with fire in her voice, "are my assignment." The next morning, Aisha Gray woke up with a mission face. Her dress was sharp enough to cut gossip. Her nails glowed like fresh polish on success. And her perfume? Sweet revenge and confidence mixed in one bottle. Wherever Michael went, she followed. Meetings, lunches, interviews, like, "Point me to the enemy. Make I check something." In shareholder meetings, she sat beside her husband, taking notes with precision. Each time she raised her hand to ask a question, big men in suits began sweating like they owed her money. Michael Gray couldn't help but watch her with quiet admiration. The shy orphan from Gombe had become a queen, graceful, smart, and unshakably bold. She wasn't just surviving anymore, she was arriving. 2 days later. That evening, Michael's security chief walked in with a brown envelope and a worried face. "Sir, you might want to see this." Inside were photographs and documents. Cassandra, Michael's ex-fiancée, was sitting at a luxury restaurant with her new lover, Chief Bio, both smiling proudly like 2 goats who just broke into a yam barn. Aisha scanned the papers quietly. Fraudulent deals, fake company registrations, stolen signatures, offshore accounts. She raised her brows, looked at Michael, and hissed softly. These two are not just foolish. They are professionally stupid." Michael rubbed his forehead. "They want to destroy my name, Aisha. Ruin everything I built. Turn the world against me." Aisha stood up slowly, placed both hands on his shoulders and looked him dead in the eye with that calm, confident smile, the kind that says, Try me and collect your lesson. You married a Gombe girl, Michael Gray, she said softly. We don't run from war. We price it, package it, and return it with interest. Michael's lips curved. So we fight? She winked. No, my love. We win. And as thunder rumbled outside the mansion gate, it felt like heaven itself was shouting, yes, you win indeed. A few days later, news broke like wildfire across Nigeria. Cassandra Adeleke and Chief Bayo were arrested for massive fraud, corporate theft, and attempted murder. The evidence was airtight thanks to Aisha's quiet background work. She had dug into their lies, traced every transaction, and handed over proof so solid even their ancestors couldn't deny it. Michael was cleared. His reputation soared. His empire regained its shine, and that night he threw a grand dinner to celebrate his queen, his warrior wife, Aisha. The dining hall sparkled with lights and laughter. Guests toasted to victory. Aisha looked radiant, dressed in gold, her smile as soft as peace after war. Then suddenly, Michael pushed his wheelchair back and stood up. Yes, stood, on both feet strong, tall, steady. The entire room froze. Glasses paused midair. Aisha's jaw dropped. Michael? Your legs? He smiled gently, eyes locked on hers. Yes, my love, my legs were never truly injured. I only pretended to test hearts, to see who would love me for me, not for money or fame. Tears filled Aisha's eyes. Her lips trembled between laughter and shock. Wait, you mean I was married to a man acting disabled? Michael chuckled softly. You were married to a man desperate to find truth. And you, my dear Aisha, you won that test. The crowd erupted. Applause, laughter, even a few tears. Aisha covered her mouth, shaking her head. Michael Gray, if I don't love you, I swear I would have arrested you myself. He grinned. Then love me twice. She threw her arms around him, laughing and crying at once. You wicked man! You made me polish wheelchair tires for months. He held her close. And you made me believe in love again. That night, under the glow of chandeliers and whispered prayers, Michael and Aisha danced, his legs strong, her smile brighter than ever. From that day on, the story of Aisha and Michael Gray spread everywhere, the orphan from Gombe who conquered lies with loyalty, and the billionaire who stood up literally for love. And yes, besties, they lived happily ever after, not just as husband and wife, but as warriors who turned pain into power. Beloved viewers, life will always test your heart before it blesses your hands. Aisha's story reminds us that true love isn't found in comfort, it's proven in storms. She stood by Michael when the world mocked him, and in the end, love stood up for her too. So, my dear besties, never look down on humble beginnings and never judge a heart by what it wears, because tomorrow can shock even your enemies. If this story touched your heart, please like this video to show your love for Aisha and Michael. Drop a comment below. What lesson did you learn today? And don't forget to subscribe, besties, because more powerful, emotional, and jaw-dropping stories are coming your way. Till next time, stay kind, stay hopeful, and remember, real love never limps forever.